Are you a little man who goes outside? Or are you just new to Phantom Forces? Do you feel like you want the absolute lowest, the absolute tiniest little amount, the absolute baby iteration of this magical thing called recoil? Well, I've got a nice little solution for you. If you already have everything unlocked, just watch anyway because, free entertainment. You like free, right? But yes, today we're going to be talking about the best attachments to pre-buy, and in doing so, I'm going to do something that's not normally allowed, giving my opinion. First on the list here, we've got the REFLEX sight. Really, a base standard sight that allows you to see the enemy, and that's really it. Requiring 285 kills. For what it is, it actually gives you a lot better recoil control than things like the Coyote sight, which are unlocked a lot later, though it has a much smaller aperture. Yeah, it's a sight with a little red dot. Okay, moving on. Next is sometimes referred to as the no recoil sight. At 777 kills, we have the KOUSAKU, the Katsuki sight, which I believe is Japanese for this little red square with a red dot with 3 white dots. Not actually, I really have no idea what it means, but a square with 3 white dots and a red dot is what you get for killing basically 1,000 people. This sight comes stock on the E-gun, and I thought it was really cool whenever they added it as like a sight that you could put on anything, but now that it's the meta, it's just kind of boring. Still a great sight though. Most people are going to know the AMT Terminator. It's kind of got a connotation behind it for being a wacky laser pointer sight, but it's pretty decent. Well, for something that requires over 2,000 kills, it better be. I find in my use that it allows me to have a lot more screen space to kind of see around me, and headshots are a lot easier to get with this for some reason. It doesn't really change recoil all that much, but it's pretty good. A sight that most of you probably do not know is the Plague Insight. Part of the reason for that is most likely because it requires almost 4,000 kills, probably being the main reason really. On first usage, you'll probably think that it sucks, and that's because it does. The point of this sight is to look into the interdimensional void of despair by pressing T and you'll zoom in. It basically becomes a DCL 120. You know, that thing that gives you no recoil at the cost of awful handling, but without downsides, minus the tiny viewing angle and the purple and red hue over the screen, of course. Cool, okay, real quick, I'm noticing a distinct lack of first comments, so when you watch this video and when you enjoy it, make sure to sub with notifications on, so you get notified of all new videos. Okay, cool, thanks. Moving on to the barrel attachments, the compensator is going to be the easiest one for you to get, and honestly, the thing that I'd say to go for first. At 120 kills required, this takes your horizontal recoil and converts it to vertical recoil. If you don't know what I mean by that, restart first grade because you clearly missed what up and down is. But second, it basically means instead of side to side, your recoil just goes mostly up and down. This makes it a lot easier to control the recoil since you just have to pull down instead of left to right when shooting. 100% worth. Totally pre-buy it. The muzzle brake is the opposite of the compensator. It cuts out your vertical recoil and replaces it with side-to-side recoil. This, while it's worse, in my opinion, can really make or break a gun. Ah, see what I did there? Oh, you're commenting a threat. Oh, okay. Anyway, depending on the gun you use, either of these options can and will work, and only requiring 55 more kills than the compensator, it won't be much more to buy whenever it comes to credits, and really, it's worth trying both to see what helps best with your playstyle. The Loudener, oh boy, the Loudener is really pointless. It just changes the sound of your gun to make it more bassy or punchy, with no real advantage. It's kind of a waste of an attachment slot, but if you want to be a silly little man, or woman, I don't judge, the 835 kill requirement may be worth it to you. As far as underbarrel goes, you have two choices, folding grip or stubby grip, nothing else. The folding grip being unlocked at level 200. Yeah, level 265, okay. The folding grip being unlocked at 265 kills is used for the same benefits as the compensator, less side to side and more up and down recoil, and the opposite goes for the stubby grip, which is unlocked at 355 kills, basically acting more akin to the muzzle brake, at least if I'm understanding all these random silly little numbers correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong though, I don't know. Like I said about the barrel attachments, either of these grips you're using, one's going to be more viable than the other depending on the gun. The other tab has quite a few options, all depending on your playstyle and what color you like. You've got the red laser unlocked at 75 kills, the green laser unlocked at 110 kills, or 165 kills for some guns, the blue laser unlocked at 200 or 255 kills, the tri-laser, which is unlocked at 1015 kills or 1070. Why is it different for some guns? I don't know. And also you've got the ballistics tracker, which is unlocked at 1500 kills. The default laser is pretty basic. It gives you slightly better recoil recovery, so after you shoot, the gun comes back down fast and slightly better hip accuracy. The green laser is mostly for hip firing, giving you a tighter spread when firing from the hip, like a certain Sylvester Stallone that I know. The blue laser is meant for general improvements to both ADS and hip firing, and lastly, the tri-laser combines all the stats of all the lasers, just with reduced effectiveness to each stat. Oh yeah, and the kooky, wacky ballistics tracker allows you to see enemies with a nice little diamond above their head, but this is better used at a distance or with a sniper, rather than 2 feet away like I'm doing here. Ammo is a really touchy subject whenever it comes to this game because people get extremely defensive about it. And also, all the different guns pretty much have different ammo types, some of which being unique to them specifically. But I'll recommend one that almost everything has in the game, that being armor piercing. Armor piercing does exactly what the name implies. If it didn't, that would be pretty stupid. This ammo type allows you to shoot through thicker walls, which can really change how many kills you get and change the amount of times that you're vote kicked by a factor of 10. This will change depending on the gun you have. For instance, the M4A1 that I'm using here will go from penetrating 1 stud up to 1.5, whereas something like the M21 will go from 2.4 to penetrating up to 3.6 studs, all the while reducing damage range and suppression. It's clearly meant to be used in smelling distance though, so in my opinion that's a non-issue. Cool, I know you enjoyed the video if you watched it this far, so subscribe, turn on notifications, join the Discord, get the merch, become a channel member, all that cool stuff. And feel free to shout at me and tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below.
Okay, Steven, come here, come here.
Okay.
Come over here. He's coming, he's coming. Oh! He's right behind you! Steven! Steven! Oh,